desperately keen for a boundary here. They need to do something different.
Shorter, hit hard back to Spores, but straight at him. Was able to collect that clean. He's got 2 balls remaining in his spell. Again, super economical. Spin duo have really controlled these middle overs. Works amongst the leg side for another single. It's been an impressive display of control from the bowlers.
Yeah, it's been really good. So they've just been bowling consistent areas. They've set the field, suits the bowling, and there's just really been very few opportunities to get boundaries.
Nice ball for Spores. Again, it's tight, skidding on with the arm. Ahmed's unable to find any timing. And 1 off 7 to opening his time at the crease. Need to get a move on with only 5 overs remaining.
Yeah, so we were talking 140 at the start. If they were able to somehow get 10 and over from here, they could possibly get a competitive score. But again, that's probably not realistic looking at the Manhattan there. Just too many overs around that 4 and below. Only really one big over of 9 in the 4th over, and then in the 12th they managed to get 7.
Will stay, Steve. This game has a lot of comparisons to the Perth Scorchers game yesterday. Pakistan elected to take their power surge late, and they were able to rally with some late boundaries to post 111, which didn't look a lot at the time, but as I said earlier today, it took Perth Scorchers 8 wickets down to eventually claim the winning runs. So can the Bangladesh team find their way to 120? These 5 overs remaining. Into the hip, sort of half pulled off the top edge to the square leg umpire. There's no fielder in the ring, so they're able to make an easy single. But singles are not quite enough at the moment. Let's see if Ahmed is more comfortable with the pace of Esterhuizen, just unable to manoeuvre against the spin of Roccaccioli and Spores. So a bit of pace to work with now might enable him to either get the ball over point if he can free his arms. There's a boundary option there.
সবাই লাইক করে দিবেন, সবাই লাইকটাকে লাইক করে দিবেন। যে লাইভ দেখতেছেন বাংলাদেশ ভ্যাস পার্ট 4, বাংলাদেশ ভ্যাস পার্ট 4। গতকালকে বাংলাদেশ ভ্যাস নেপালকে হারিয়ে বাংলাদেশ কালকে জিতছে।
Above the light tower, Midoff's going back. He's not sure. Long on's coming around on the double grab, and well held. That was in the air for an eternity. Ahmed took the decision to take it on down the ground. A back of a length ball. We got plenty of bat on it, but just not enough to either clear the mid-off fielder as Long On came around and judged it well under the night sky.
It was a good catch in the end. He made a little bit of difficulty there with it, a little bit of a juggle, but it is quite challenging with these lights. I know in the international games they talked about the lights being a little bit lower than the main grounds around Australia, with the MCG and the SCG all being much higher. So there has been a few having a little bit of trouble with the high catches, but it was very well taken.
And cleared the front leg to hoik that over back the bowler's head. Looked like it was going to be Mid-Off's catch for a long time until Mid-On was finally called into and was able to take the catch on the second opportunity. So Bangladesh now 6 down.
T20 12তম ম্যাচ, T20 12তম ম্যাচ বাংলাদেশ পার্ট 4, বাংলাদেশ বনাম পার্ট 4 T20 12তম ম্যাচ আসছে। 73 রানে 6 উইকেট। আমাদের বাংলাদেশ সোনার হরিণ 15 উইকেট 2 বল।
Well, he had to go, Ahmed, didn't he? He was chewing up dots. He was 1 off 8, so he had to have a bit of a go. He did end up hitting it pretty cleanly, but unfortunately, it just went a little bit too high.
This is Onjoy Chowdhury, left-hander, comes to the crease. Nothing to lose. This one's full, driven through the side. Start for Chowdhury. He'll come back for 2 to open his account.
So he's been elevated in the order here.
Originally listed at 10, so he's been given a promotion.
Bit of a license to hit, I think.
I think so. Nothing to lose. As we've said, they're well below a defendable total at the moment, Bangladesh. So may as well hit out and get out and try and get to 110. Something that their bowlers can try and defend. Esterhuizen's short again to the leg side. Might have been a little bit of glove as keeper Curtis scurries around, takes off the glove to throw that back in. It all rests with Hussain now. The last designated batter at the crease, who spent plenty of time in the middle, facing 37 balls, currently below a run a ball.
76 রানে 6 উইকেট 15 ওভার বাংলাদেশ।
Just works that to the mid-wicket area for a single. Again, the whole innings from
বাংলাদেশ
Hussain's been
বনাম
quite
পার্থ
circumspect.
বাংলাদেশ বনাম পার্থ টি-20 12তম ম্যাচ আজকের 77 রানে 6 উইকেট 15
Running out of
ওভার
time
শেষ
to post
বাংলাদেশ।
a total for his bowlers.
দেখা যাক
Yeah, I
কালকের
think the
মতো
scorchers have identified that he likes
জিতা
to free
চায়।
the arms.
কালকে
That's
নেপাল
probably
আর
his
বাংলাদেশ
best
খেলা
go-to in
হয়েছে।
terms of the
কালকে
boundary
নেপালের সঙ্গে
shots.
বাংলাদেশ
And they just
জিতছে।
haven't really given him any width. They've just bowled nice and tight into his body.
সে তো 100 রানও বসবে না।
Liner outside off stump, maybe an off cutter from Esterhuizen as he closes out his 4 innings, so 4 overs. Really great display, claiming 2 for 21. At the end of the 16th over, the score is
77 রানে 6
6
উইকেট
for
16 ওভার
77.
শেষ। আমাদের বাংলাদেশ সোনার হরিণ দেখা যাক 100 রান আজকে করতে পারে কিনা। সবাই লাইক করে দিবেন প্লিজ সবাই
So where are they going to score their runs? They're going to need to try
লাইক
and
করে
get
দিবেন
10 and
প্লিজ
over, really.
সবাই
I know they haven't
সাবস্ক্রাইব
been
করে
doing it
দিবেন
up to now, but
চ্যানেলটাকে।
if they can
ধন্যবাদ
try and
সবাইকে।
get that
বাংলাদেশ
boundary
বনাম
per
পার্থ
over, score off every other ball, it's going to get them up close to that 8 to 10 per over. There
12তম
can't be any dots.
ম্যাচ
It's got to be
টি-20
either block and
আজকের
run,
77
work to
রানে
a
6 উইকেট
gap in
16
the field to
ওভার
get the 2,
বাংলাদেশ।
or wait for your boundary ball. They're going to have to be smart here. They're going to be tactical. They're going to play to their strengths and get ourselves a score up around that, maybe 110, if they can get those 4 relatively big overs.
Well, the glimmer of hope is the power surge has been taken, so there's an opportunity to capitalise in the next 12 deliveries with 2 fielders permitted outside the inner circle. We have a deep backward square and a deep mid-wicket for Hussain. He's faced 38 deliveries. He needs to take the ascendancy in this next 2 overs as he faces Brodie Couch from the airport end. Here we go. First delivery of the power surge. Around the wicket. A little bit of room. Backward of point. They come through for a single as that was
সবাইকে ধন্যবাদ। সবাই একটা করে লাইক করে দিবেন। সবাই লাইক করে দিবেন, পাশাপাশি আমার চ্যানেলটাকে সাবস্ক্রাইব করে দিবেন প্লিজ। আজকের খেলা বাংলাদেশ বনাম পার্থ 78 রান 6 উইকেট 16 ওভার 1 বল।
At the body, no width. If they do happen to stray a little bit wide of the off stump, then that's where the boundary is going to be a real option for him.
Chowdhury on strike. Full outside off, driven firmly to mid off. Who just waits for the
100 রান
ball to
পূজা রে
reach
ভাই,
him.
100 রান পূজা
In the
আজকে।
inner ring, they're happy with singles at the moment, the Perth Scorchers. Captain Sam Fanning's done an excellent job rotating the quicks, spin, controlled the middle overs. They'll be looking to close out. Mentioned earlier that power surge got away from them yesterday in their match against the Pakistan Shaheens, so they'll be looking to improve that aspect of their bowling performance today. Hussain on strike. Full again, inside edge.
Oh,
Lucky break
चार
for
मेरे
Bangladesh.
दिए
That
से
makes its way down to the fine leg boundary for 4. Joel Curtis, the wicketkeeper, unable to do anything about that as he was beaten on his inside. A welcome 4 runs for Bangladesh.
Yeah, you can't set a field to that. Bit unlucky for the bowler, but that's T20 cricket. It's interesting they have made the change with a deep point, but now he's just coming in. I would be keeping the deep point because I think that's what he wants to do. He wants to free the arms and have a crack. So there is an opportunity out there, even if he backs away and gives himself a little bit of room, expecting the ball to be at the body. He's going to have to maybe move around the crease a little bit just to try something different.
Brings the short boundary into play. Hussain decides to take it on. It's into the wicket. Hit hard to cover. Again, unable just to
चल
find
रही
that gap.
100 रन पूजा 100 रन पूजा
Straight to the fielder for another single. So I've got 2 balls remaining in the first of the power surge. Looks like the field will remain with the 2 fielders out on the leg side. You think Crouch is looking to bowl tight line here with the 2 out on the leg side, or?
Yeah, I think he's just going to bowl length at the body and just give him no room. So he's got the protection on the leg side, which is another reason to back away and get a bit funky.
Crouch returns. It's into the crease, helped on its way backward to square. The fielder's got some work to do. He slides, does well to prevent 4. Just scraped that in. Tidy little bit of work on the boundary there by Tegan Wiley. He's fielded well today. So 2 runs to Chowdhury, puts him back on strike for the final ball of this, the 17th over. Scores on 86, still well short of a defendable total. High in the air, lofted to the leg side. Midon's coming around. Safe as the 2 fielders converged on the leg side. So Chowdhury hasn't been able to get back for a couple of doubles. He's made his way to 8 of 6, providing a little lower order
88 রান
cameo.
6 উইকেট 17 ওভার
Hussain
শেষ
will have strike for the first ball of the second over as the Bangladesh
সবাই লাইক করে দিবেন সবাই লাইক করে দিবেন প্লিজ প্লিজ সবাই চ্যানেলটাকে সাবস্ক্রাইব করে দিবেন প্লিজ আজকের খেলা বাংলাদেশ বনাম পার্থ
Bangladesh has
Path
keeping the game moving, and I think it's often the batting side that's holding up display as much as it is the bowling side.
Yeah, and the bowling side's the one that gets penalised too, so it's always a bit tough. But that was a big over there, 11 off, innings high. It's what they needed. They got the boundary, they got a few 2s and a 1, and as I said earlier, there wasn't any dots, so they were able to score off each ball, which is what it's all about. It's not always about trying to find your boundary balls, trying to minimise the dots.
So it'll be Bryce Jackson to bowl this second power surge. He's elected to go with a deep point and deep backward square. How will Hussain respond? Full, outside off, driven straight to cover again. Just too many dots in Hussain's innings. Yes, you can be a traditionalist who looks to keep the ball along the ground, but if you're going to play that role, you've got to find the gap.
Yeah, some guys are blessed with power, so they can probably get away with it, but unfortunately it's not his go, so he's going to have to try and introduce a few more shots in his repertoire, maybe move around the crease a little bit.
Yeah, you'd have to think the ramp over the keeper's head is in the back of his mind. Jackson, it is full, looks to force through the offside again with a traditional cover drive. So just hasn't been able to find the power.
88 রান 6 উইকেট 17 ওভার 2 বল দেখা যাক বাংলাদেশ 100 উপরে করতে পারে কিনা রান আজকে সবাই লাইক করে দিবেন সবাই চ্যানেলটাকে সাবস্ক্রাইব করে দিবেন প্লিজ
This power surge that was so crucial for the Bangladesh side to capitalise on. Looks like they're going to change the field for Chowdhury. The deep point will come up, so we'll have 2 fielders on the leg side. It's a long boundary out to that leg side. I have seen it cleared plenty of times through this top end series. Jackson's into the wicket, and that's what we wanted. Chowdhury gets inside and pops it all the way for 6. Great shot there. Chowdhury's come to the crease. We saw he got the promotion, and we're starting to see why.
Yeah, absolutely. Named at 10. He's come in much earlier, and he's shown he's got a little bit of power there. It was the first one.
95 রান হয়ে গেল বাংলাদেশ, 95 রান.
And it's just flown down there. 2 deep fine leg for 6.
Just helped on its way, got inside the line, right out of the middle, sailed into the fence. Well played. Mithranjoy Chowdhury, the first 6 of the innings for the Bangladesh.
95 রান, 6 উইকেট, 17 ওভার, 3 বল.
This one's wider. Deep point was dropped. Judged a wide. Jackson's not sure. He thought he executed inside the tram line. Umpire Simon Burns decided otherwise. So still be 3 balls remaining.
It's the first time, Carl, that there's actually been some pressure on the bowler, isn't it? A little bit of movement around the crease there. The big 6, and all of a sudden now the bowler's second guessing themselves, and it brings about the wide.
So important to give the bowler
আজকের
something
খেলা
to think about.
বাংলাদেশ বনাম পার্থ.
Chowdhury again skied this one. The fielder's coming around.
Out.
And well held.
Out
So
yellow.
look to take on the leg side boundary again. This one was a little bit wider. All he could do was find the
96 রানে
top
7
edge.
উইকেট,
And
17
well
ওভার,
held.
3 বল.
Perth Scorchers have supported their bowlers, taking all their chances in the field. Never easy under the dark lights. The night sky here. And Chowdhury, after finding the first 6 of the innings, departs having made 14 off 8 runs.
It's come alive though, the innings, which is what we were waiting for. All of a sudden now they're getting pretty close to 100, and the scores we were throwing around earlier of at least 110, maybe even a 120 are starting to be some sort of a chance, and then you've got something to bowl at. So we're starting to get back to the stage now where Scorchers are thinking, oh, maybe we might have a bit of a chase here.
ভাগ হয়ে গেছে. যাই হোক, মানে অস্ট্রেলিয়ার ভিতরে
Mithranjoy Chowdhury departs back into the shed. We welcome Hassan to the crease. He'll be on strike with 2 balls remaining in the power surge. Steve, you may as well just swing at these next 2 and hope for the best.
May as well, team first at this stage. I'm not worrying about protecting averages. Just want to get something on it and then scamper down the other end if you can't.
So, Naeem Hassan coming in at number 9 this evening.
120 রান
Can
এরকম
he
হতে পারে.
find bat on ball and, more importantly, try and find the rope? Jackson resumes. It's back of a length and out. 2 and 2
Out
for
is allowed.
Jackson. Pace and bounce. Hassan was beaten on the outside edge. That's a root start to his
96 রানে 8 উইকেট শেষ, 17 ওভার, 5 বল.
Bryce Jackson showing that he can still get the ball through the wicket in this late stage of the innings.
Yeah, came through a bit quicker, that one. Bit of bounce, just caught the glove, I believe, or was it the bat? Let's have a look.
Oh, really lifted off a length. Didn't do much wrong there. Uncomfortable delivery to get first up.
Yeah, not ideal. You want to get that ball a little bit fuller in the slot and to get up the other end, but you really can't do much about that. You know you've got to try and score, but it really is very difficult to score off a delivery like that takes off at that length.
So it's a recurring trend of seeing wickets in the power surge. Often they can be the best overs to bowl, and that's been proven for Bryce Jackson here. He's claimed 2 in 2 deliveries, and now has the opportunity to take the first hat-trick of this top-end series. We've seen plenty of players take 2 in 2. Can he be the first to claim that coveted hat-trick? We've even seen a slip in come into play for this, the last of the 18th. Hold on. Bit of congestion conjecture as to how the field's going to be set up behind the wicket, but if he can get the ball through like that last delivery, Rukabal Hassan is going to have his work cut out to keep it out. Here we go. Jackson on a hat-trick. Full. He's gone for it. It's in third. There's enough bat to clear the ring field. They come back. A bit of pressure to get through. So an entertaining hat-trick ball and final over for Bryce Jackson, his third over, now with the figures of 3 for 26.
Yeah, good bowling there from Jackson, and certainly for a split second it looked like we were going to have a hat-trick on our hands there. It was in the air for a while, but it was just a little bit too long.
Rukabal Hassan was not worried about, being that third wicket to fall in 3 deliveries as he tried to loft the ball back of a length over the offside. It hung in the air. Tegan Wiley tried his best to backtrack, but the ball was just outstretched of his reach.
That's what you want. You don't want someone coming in to try and prevent a hat-trick. You want someone to come and have a go, which is what he did. So what credit to him. Entertaining for us and also trying to score some runs for his team, which is what it's all about.
Yes, Rukabal Hassan, the all-rounder. He'll have a job to do with the ball in the second innings. Can he provide some late order hitting to just give somewhat of a target? Currently 99, 12 balls remaining. Crouch to continue from the airport end. It's into the wicket. What's that come off? Hassan tried to pull to the leg side, didn't know much about it. Wait for the decision from John Ganane. The judge that there was no bat.
99 রান 8 উইকেট 18 ওভার শেষ
Ultimate over.
18 ওভার 1 বল
Brody Crouch
শেষ
has been impressive. Hussain back on strike. He's made his way to 40. Just waiting for confirmation.
100 রানে 8 উইকেট 18 ওভার 1 বল
Looks like we'll see mid-wicket coming up into the ring, which is an interesting decision. As immediately as I say, that's funny how often that happens. Steve, the captain, sent him right back.
I think they might have heard you, Carl. They thought, hang on, this doesn't seem right. Carl doesn't agree.
As on strike. Couch into the wicket, finding pace and bounce again. This pace battery of the Perth Scorchers. We've mentioned some of the names they've produced at international level, and it looks like they've got another emerging trio of pace bowlers. We've got Brody Couch on display here. Young Albert Esterhuizen was able to beat the bat, and in the over before, Bryce Jackson claiming multiple wickets. They've got a promising attack that you'd have to think can go far into this top end series. Couch is full this time, outside off, and it beats the wicketkeeper Joel Curtis. Just got low on him as he looked to get his body behind the ball, but was unable to prevent it going through to the fine leg region for 2 byes, the first byes of the innings.
Yeah, he's done a good job with the gloves. That was just a bit of an awkward one.
সবাই একসাথে লাইক করে দিবেন, সবাই একসাথে লাইক করে দিবেন, চ্যানেলটাকে সাবস্ক্রাইব করে দিবেন। প্লিজ 102 রানে 8 উইকেট, 102 রান 8 উইকেট, 18 ওভার 3 বল, বাংলাদেশ বনাম পার্থ।
Balls remaining. On strike. Full outside off. Went for the French cut again. Hussein's already had one of those this innings. Beaten on the inside as that one just skittled through a little bit lower. Couch has got a fast skiddy action. Was able to beat the bat on that occasion. Another tidy over. Nothing off the bat with 4 balls gone.
So 8 to come. 115 would be probably a bare minimum for them. It's doable now.
Full outside off and another dot. Hussain had width to use. Deep third was up in the ring, so any bat on that would have been able to race away to third man for 4. But Hussain just unable to get bat on ball. He must be feeling a lot of pressure as the innings has just slowly gotten away. He started promisingly, was to run a ball up to 20, but he's just lost his way a little bit in these latter stages. Couch to conclude the 19th into the wicket, pulled into the leg side, along the ground. Hussain just jots through for a single. He'll retain the strike to open up the last over, and he's got to bring something to the table to try and find the boundary.
Yeah, a couple of overs ago, they got the 11 off the over, so they are capable. It's going to have to be 12 at least, I reckon, to make it a competitive score, and they can walk off with their chest out, hopefully maybe pick up Teague Wiley early and bring the game back into a 50-50 contest.
So a modest worm, to say the least. We see those 2 wickets in the last Bryce Jackson over. Just spike was the 6 from Chowdhury, but really through the whole innings they have struggled to put the Perth Scorchers bowlers under any pressure. A crucial game for these two teams, both on 1 win and 1 loss. Jackson to conclude. It's into the wicket, helped onto the leg side, upish, but straight to the fielder. As they come in hard off the fence to prevent any chance of a second. The limelight goes over to Rakibal Hassan to see if he can try and find the fence.
19 over 1 ball, Bangladesh.
Swings his arms around, he's ready to go.
So, fine leg, third man inside the ring, as well as mid-off. Potential boundary options around the crease. Slow ball. It's high into mid-wicket. The fielder's going around. He won't get it. It's 6 more. So Rakibal Hassan sees the umpire raise his arms for the second 6 of the innings. And the lower order has been able to provide some fireworks for Bangladesh.
Yeah, he looked like he was going to, gave us a bit of a heads up that he was going to have a go there. He was looking like he was shaping up for a boxing fight, and then he's just gone absolutely bang.
That's a great shot. There was a bit of width, so he's done really well to get enough bat onto the leg side and heave that over to mid-wicket. Had enough bat on it to clear the fence by a good 5 metres. So Rakibal Hassan 6. Jackson to respond. Full, outside off. It's going to be another boundary. It's 6 more. So putting Jackson under a little bit of pressure, strayed in his line and length, full outside off. Hassan threw the kitchen sink at it, was able to get enough bat on it to go back-to-back 6s. Are we seeing something from the Bangladesh late in this innings?
And there's more good news from a Bangladesh point of view, because we've got a free hit here because it's been deemed a no ball. So we are having a cracker of a last over here for Bangladesh.
Late in this innings, Rakibal Hassan has brought the game to life. We've mentioned that Perth Scorchers had their troubles chasing 112 yesterday. Bangladesh are now over that total. It's a free hit. It's up in the air. Rakibal should be able to get back for 2. Square legs coming around. It's going to be tight. It's out. Had to take it on after back-to-back 6s. Tried to paddle that over fine leg. It held in the air. Looked like he may have been able to get back, but a strong throw straight into the gloves of wicketkeeper Joel Curtis, who was able to wick off the bails. John Ganane adjudged that Hassan was short of his ground, so a short little cameo of 16 off 5 comes to an end, but well played Hassan. He's given given his side something to defend.
Yeah, just what this game needed. That was very, very good to watch, even though it was a very, very brief innings. Certainly entertained the crowd. A couple of very big hits. It's a shame he couldn't just make his ground there. I was hoping the umpire was going to give him the benefit of the doubt, but it looked like he was clearly out. So it was a correct decision there. And he gets a nice rousing reception as he
117
comes
রান
off.
8 উইকেট 19 ওভার 2 বল বাংলাদেশ।
Applause from the Bangladesh spectators and dugout. They appreciate how crucial those back-to-back
Rajit
sixes could be.
কালিল
Little
বল ভাই
moments
क्या
can
बोलेगा भाई
play a big part in changing the momentum of a T20 match. How pivotal will that be as we see the Perth Scorchers run
117
chase?
রান 8 উইকেট বাংলাদেশ 19 ওভার 2 বল বাংলাদেশ ব্যাস পার্থ
Who's full.
চার
The first ball, Mahmood is driven through the offside for 4 more. So it's been a great end to this Bangladesh innings. The final over going for plenty, still with balls remaining.
122 রান 9 উইকেট 19 ওভার 4 বল আর মাত্র 2 বল বাকি আছে
Game. Hasn't really been a lot of pressure back on the bowler, and now all of a sudden this game has come to life. Score up to 122 with a couple
বাংলাদেশ
more
ব্যাস
balls to
পার্থ
go.
বাংলাদেশ ব্যাস পার্থ 122 রান 9 উইকেট 19 ওভার 4 বল আর মাত্র 2 বল বাকি আছে
This one is a dot bowled into the wicket by Jackson. Mahmood swung hard to the leg side. Was unable to make contact. So we've got 1 ball remaining in the Bangladesh innings. So they've done well to get to 122. It's certainly at points we didn't expect them to get there. We've seen a few lower totals across the last day or two. They've given their bowlers something to believe in.
এক বলে 6 এক বলে 6 এক বলে 6
Outside off stump. John Curtis has a shy. They get scamper through for a bye.
এক রান
So that finishes 20 off the final over. Exactly what Bangladesh needed. Jackson finishes with the figures of 3 for 45, which took a little bit of damage in that last over. We mentioned how well he did in the power surge, claiming 2 wickets, but bowling at the death is always a difficult thing to do. So as we see Bangladesh batters depart, the Scorchers will be happy at restricting them for 123, but there will still be plenty of work to do as we look back at the key moments of this first innings. Perth Scorchers again able to take wickets through the power play before
বাংলাদেশ 123 রানে
controlling the
টার্গেট
middle
দিছে
overs through the
বাংলাদেশ
spin
123 রানে
of
টার্গেট
Corey
9
Roccacelli
উইকেট
and Matthew Spores.
পার্থ
Bangladesh were consistently under
এখন ব্যাটিং
pressure.
করবে কিছুক্ষণ
Hussain was
পরে
able to bat through the innings while without being able to find the boundary with any regular ease. He was able to play an anchoring role and score 40 before Rakibal Hassan hit back-to-back sixes in the final over to give the Bangladesh team 123 on the board. We will be back after a short break for the Perth Scorchers run chase.
Are you looking to hit your studies for 6? Make the move to Australia's Northern Territory and start a world-class partnership where your